Well, and also, I know that his daughter and son-in-law have purchased property in Miami. I mean, it appears there are plans to move back to Florida. So, Carol, take us through your reporting, because Trump would argue he's friends with everyone in Palm Beach. He has fundraisers and parties for everybody, and I'm sure he can't imagine why anybody wouldn't want him living there.
Well, he may not imagine it, but there are quite a few neighbors who are up in arms about the fact that he's returning, and not just because of his politics, Mika. I mean, also because he's had a long history of ticking off his neighbors. He tried to violate this 1993 agreement that we write about and that Dave described perfectly. He's tried to violate that before, arguing that he had to build this huge flagpole, trying to subdivide his lots, trying to get permission to build a dock, which he first said the Secret Service wanted him to build for security reasons, and then retracted that and said that actually it was for personal reasons. There's a lot of distrust in this community about Donald Trump because he has sued the town of Palm Beach when it tried to block him from dividing this property into residences. I'd say it's also important that Donald Trump's organization and the club have not so far consistently complied with the agreement that we're talking about. For every single year, Donald Trump is supposed to report how he's complying with that non-residency requirement by explaining where members live, explaining that they haven't stayed longer than 7 days consecutively. For 4 of the 20 years, he hasn't reported it. Another important thing, Mika, he has stayed at that club and visited it 30 times during his presidency. So he's already flouted that law pretty clearly. And there are a lot of neighbors there who say just on its face, they can't trust Donald Trump to comply, and they want the town of Palm Beach to force the president to do that.
So, Dave, I think the idea that Donald Trump is going to listen to an angry letter from the neighborhood association is preposterous to most people. So what is the recourse for Palm Beach? I mean, are they going to go in and take a sitting president of the United States out of his own club and not allow him to live there? I mean, is that really on the board as a possibility?
It's all about code enforcement, and the town of Palm Beach is known for very tough code enforcement. It's one of the reasons why so many rich and famous people move in. They have this quality of life there, and they could start fining him. They could drag him before the Code Enforcement Board. They could even press a nuclear option and try to revoke his occupational license, which would end Mar-a-Lago as we know it. The restaurant Houston's tried to move into the town of Palm Beach, and the town council said, no, we do not allow chain restaurants here. So they tweaked a few things, and they renamed their restaurant the Palm Beach Grill, because the town of Palm Beach usually wins on stuff like this. In fact, they've already told the president that he's got to remove his helicopter landing pad from Mar-a-Lago as soon as he's out of office. Not many towns would tell an ex-president to do that, but there has been, as Carol is totally correct, a history between these two, from the flagpole to the boat docks. This past year, the president wanted to install a boat dock on Mar-a-Lago, and the town put the kibosh on that. Even the great chandelier in the Grand Ballroom at Mar-a-Lago was a subject of a lawsuit. So I don't expect this to be any different. But for all of our sakes, I hope that when the president hires a lawyer to deal with this, it's someone not named Rudy Giuliani.